All right, what's up, guys? Today's tutorial is actually by request from a student, and it is the wipe transition or the pass-by transition. I've got a few examples here. I think I see this a lot in a lot of action films. Edgar Wright is really good at his transitions. Here's Shaun of the Dead, where you see one object pass by in front of the screen, and it changes to a new scene or a new clip. It's actually pretty easy, and I've done a very similar tutorial for After Effects. Like this, where we have the animated mask path moving by, and we're going to be doing the same effect, but this time in Premiere. So the footage that I'm using, I captured some footage of me and some coworkers just hanging out. So here's Mr. Shrek, and then Mr. Bickus walks by. So my goal is that I'm going to animate a mask path as Mr. Bickus walks by to reveal a new scene. Let's open up Premiere. So I'm going to start with just those two clips. This one and this one of just Mr. Bickus now. So it's going to Bickus is going to wipe by to reveal Mr. Bickus. I'll drag these into Premiere to create a new sequence. And I'm just going to start with, here, let's go ahead and move me somewhere else on the screen. And I'm just going to start with just this one clip for now. Let's go over to the effects menu. Keep in mind in Premiere, if yours ever doesn't look like mine, you can always just click these three lines in one of these panels and click reset to saved layout. So I'm in the effects panel right now. If I click on the clip, over here on the left-hand side now, I have all of these different effects and settings, like the scale, the position. The one that I'm looking at is under opacity. With opacity, I have these shapes and the pen tool here. If I use one of those shapes or the pen tool when I'm creating, or when I have a layer selected, it creates a mask. A mask hides part of a layer or part of a clip. Let's fix that. Hides part of a clip or a layer so that it reveals another layer. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to scrub through to the point where Mr. Bickus finally walks by. And now I'm going to grab my pen tool here. And let's go ahead and create a simple path. I have myself at 50% so I can see outside of my frame. I'll create one point outside of the frame, and I'll click and hold to use the pen tool. And I'm going to keep this simple. I don't want to do more than 3 or 4 main points in there, my bottom, and I'm going to close this off outside of the frame. So what I just did, this looks a little weird here, but we'll fix that. What I just did is I created a mask, and I'm saying, hey, only show what's inside this shape. I want to revert that. I want to say don't show what's inside that shape. So let's go over here to our effects. Now I see this new mask 1 right here, and I'm going to click invert. And boom. Now anything inside of that shape is hiding. Right now it's black space because there's nothing underneath. But if I move this clip up to a second layer and put something else down here, like this clip, look at that. You can see underneath that. However, the problem right now, and what the focus of this tutorial is really going to be, is that it doesn't move. If I like the mask path, let's just go ahead and delete that clip. Yep. It doesn't move with him. It stays right there. So we need to animate the mask path or keyframe the mask path. So let's go ahead and scrub back to where he's in the frame. And now comes the long part. So let's go here under mask 1 and click our toggle animation keyframe for mask path. And what that did is that says, hey, at this frame, at this point in time, the mask path is that. But if I go ahead and move frames, I can use my arrow keys left and right. My magic mouse lets me just scroll, which is really nice. But it's these buttons right here. If I go forward a frame, now what I got to do is with mask 1 selected, make sure mask 1 is selected, I can move my points. So I just got to move this 1, 2, 3, and the outside 2. I like to start with the middle ones. So let's go ahead and move this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and then go ahead and move this guy. So I'm hugging the edge, hugging his side. Now what that did is that created a second keyframe. Let's go ahead and scrub forward again, and same game. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5. So this is going to take a while. So I have those 5 points, the 2 on the outside and 3 on the inside. you want to make sure that your mask path keyframe is selected. I've seen too many students who start moving it frame by frame and start getting into the long haul of this process, and they had forgotten to even start the keyframes, and that's like a lot of wasted time. So let's keep going here. I'll do one more, and then I'm going to fast forward. So I skipped a frame forward, move this guy, whoop, Command Z that. I don't want to move the whole mask, I just want to move this one. Let's get a little bit closer. I like to trim the edge of the figure and not the edge of the background if not. Next frame, move my keyframes, or I'm sorry, move my points. I'm mixing my words up here. Oops, Command Z, I was just grabbing the handle. Let's actually grab the point. The point, there it goes. And then these last two. All right, I'm gonna fast forward and I'm gonna try to finish this up. And I'm almost done there. So it's all the way off the frame now. But I know that I didn't start the mask at the beginning. I started it a little bit in, so I need to go back. That looks pretty good though, until it stops moving. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, hey, when he's off the frame, let's try this out. Let's say, hey, it starts over here, complete, like where all my points are completely off the frame, so none of the clip is being hidden. And let's see how that animates on its own for the start there without having to do very much. I'm gonna hit spacebar, hit play. All right, I do need to keyframe that. But what what you're seeing there is the basics of it. So if I go ahead and put another clip in there, or even if I grab like let's grab one of my art history images of the Parthenon. If I bring like any other image in there, another video clip, an image, whatever it is, oh, that Parthenon's real small. Let's go ahead and increase that size. And now Mr. Bickus is walking by and revealing the Parthenon, right? So I was a little bit hasty with that ending there, but spend time. It takes a little bit of time. That whole process took me a little bit like less than I'd say like 5 or 6 minutes. Be precise. Move your points. You might need to move those handles if you do, but that creates a really cool effect in just a few minutes. Yeah. So thank you for watching.